Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like to start me. Thank everyone for your time this afternoon. I know that we're all very busy. We can see we just barely made the numbers, so I'm very happy that we're able to proceed with tonight's meeting. I will start off. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda. Caitlin? And a seconder?
I second it.
Thank you. Let me know when you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so item number 2, so disclosure of any pecuniary interests. I see none. Okay, adoption of the minutes. So a resolution to adopt the minutes. And I need a mover and a seconder for that. So if I can have, so Caitlin will move. Second. Manny, thank you. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go item number 4. Discuss and considerations, prioritizing community visioning plan for 2024 to 2034. And I believe we have a slideshow or
Yeah, I wasn't gonna put it up on the screen. Manny, are you able to bring it up in front of you, the agenda package?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And I have a package here for you, Natalie, when you arrive.
Awesome, thank you.
Sorry, just quickly, the meetings are they also? I was under the impression that today was just a Zoom meeting, or will they always be an optional Zoom and live meeting or in person?
Yes, all of the above. So we're as long as we're open to the public. So we live stream as a convenience, and then we provide a Zoom link for those who want to be virtual, or you have the option of coming in person.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So in the agenda report is a summary of the survey results stemming from our last meeting in May. So in the survey, we asked everyone to provide their feedback on what priorities they wanted to set within the visioning plan and the economic master plans. So in the report, I've taken the findings and divided the time frame of 10 years into 3 sections, and whatever was priority 1 went in the first section, 2 and 3, and so on. So as you can see, the short-term action items are from 2024 to 2026, and they are outlined in the report. So if you want to take a second to kind of go through those, you can let me know if there's anything that you'd want to take out and discuss a little bit further.
This is the same document that we were able to review prior to the meeting?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
And I've done the same with the other years there. So the medium-term action items are from 2027 to 2029. And we're ending in 2030 and 34. So I think everyone would be kind of happy to know that we're moving forward with at least 4 out of the 5 items within the short-term action items. The goal tonight is, if everyone's on the same page as to how this is set out, we'll make an official recommendation to council on how we should move forward. And if they're in agreement, then we'll kind of put a bigger action plan in place.
Looks good. Me.
Could I just ask, what are the 4? So you said 4 out of 5 are moving forward in the
Yes.
short term, and I'm presuming it's in the package.
It is.
And I'm just not there to see it, but what are the 4?
So the four are, so I'll go from the top. So the first one is develop and implement a comprehensive seniors housing initiative to address the growing needs of our aging population and promote independent living. So that's the seniors housing development that we're currently working on. They're set to be completing the project hopefully by next summer is what they're slated to be done for. So the other bullet point is support community partners to implement a robust healthcare and social services professional recruitment program to address critical shortages and provide access to quality care in our community. That one is a little bit in between, a lot of work with Univ to come together with that, but through our focus groups, they kind of said that they were willing to do that. And the more numbers they have, the more people that move into the community, the more funding that they're going to have. So we're hopeful for that one.
They are bringing social services within.
Yeah, and more, I don't know if anyone had seen, but they had hired another nurse practitioner and a doctor specifically for seniors was hired in the interim as well. So they're moving forward and because they don't like having wait lists, I think, and they want to help more people in the community.
I
So
didn't know that. And the doctors can be stationed where?
I think they're rotating within Sudbury East because Univ has all of Sudbury East, so. Yeah, but I can definitely get like a more detailed as to what their plan is and how can we help, and we want to make sure that we can support these kind of initiatives, right?
Sounds good.
So I will make a note to get more information on where they're at with it and what their big plan is, just so that we can assist appropriately. The next one is encourage local school boards and other agencies to provide bilingual and English language childcare services and an English language secondary school. So there was a lot of discussion on this prior to this being a priority, just because the Minettville Public School has aging infrastructure that they may or may not have funding. The last time we spoke about this was about 5 years ago, when we approached the provincial government on, how can we get infrastructure funding to keep this service in our neighborhood and amplify it into a secondary school position. So there's been a little bit of turnover at the schools with the new principal and maybe with the school board as well. So we're going to reach back out to them and see where they're at with the infrastructure funding, because we did provide them a letter saying, we have property, if you want to build, we'll help you, we're on board because we see the benefit of this. So a lot of things with economic development, I don't know if Sev, you can weigh in on this, but like it's putting little feelers out and then just waiting for those things to kind of grow and take over, right? So it takes some time, but it's kind of in the works. And then community engagement and safety. So engage in proactive advocacy efforts to retain and secure a continued presence of local OPP officers. So we have been reporting a little bit back to this committee on where we're at with the OPP. Unfortunately, we still haven't heard anything back, but I think everyone's aware of how much Giselle's been pushing in the media. Yeah, she was in the news last weekend. So, but good movement there. We're just waiting to hear back, of course. And as soon as we can tell you guys something, we will. And then growth and development and infrastructure. So making greater investments in regular road maintenance and improvements to ensure a safe and efficient road network. In relation to that, we have an asset management plan that needs to be updated, full compliance by 2025 July. Our first compliance window was July of this year. We just missed it. It's going to be coming to council in November. And there we highlight prioritizing major infrastructure projects like this. So roads, culverts, bridges, and sewer networks are the major ones. And then all the other assets that we use to deliver services are considered non-core assets, but the plan maps out how we're going to at least be able to maintain our minimum maintenance standards over the next 10 years. So those are the things that we're kind of working on in the background, but we're checking off a lot of the boxes in the first couple of years. So I think by 2026, it would be more of a realistic goal with what's in the scope currently. And if we present it to council, I don't think there's going to be much pushback. So if everyone here is in agreement with that, or if you want me to come back with more information, does that make sense, Natalie?
Uh-oh.
So I know it's difficult, you're driving.
Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you so much. Thanks for doing the rundown. I appreciate it. I know I'm the only one who seemed to need it, but I did appreciate it.
No, that's okay, no worries. You know what, I'm gonna go through the entire report anyways and just see if I talk about anything that sparks a question, then that's fine
I
too.
think it's a
So-
good idea because it might encourage conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. So the medium-term action items are from 2027 to 2029. I think it would be important to, once we reach 2027, to kind of regroup and see if these are still priority items. Or if there's anything that we need to add, because there are things that pop up here and there, but just, I want to let everyone know that these things are not set in stone. They're just kind of like a goal, for us to try and hit. So the first point is partner with neighboring municipalities and Indigenous groups for the provision of management of recreational opportunities with high capital and operating costs. So this, if everyone remembers, comes from, is there a shared service opportunity for recreation opportunities between the municipalities that are around us? So there has been a little bit of talk about it. How we're going to get there and what we're going to do is still up for debate. But it's on the list. So the second point is establish standards for the provision of recreational facilities and programs within our settlement areas. So is there any need to grow our current recreation facilities within our own municipality? What do we want to see? That kind of thing. So I think it would be nice to kind of regroup at that time to review what exactly we want to do. The third point is maintain our existing recreational facilities to foster a healthier, more connected community and to encourage physical activity, social interaction, and development of local talent and skills. So a lot of this stems from like active communities, right? So, and not just for kids, for all ages, making sure that there's equal opportunity for everybody. So I think like between those three pillars, if we do really plan out how we're going to do that for the communities, not just here, but if we can partner with other communities, I think that would be really nice. And the fact that Univy is providing a lot of these activities, most of the time for free or for minimal cost throughout Sudbury East, I think that there would be a really nice opportunity to partner with them to see, what do you guys need from us kind of thing. I think that would be a good start. Yes.
I just want to do a shout out to Megan and Andrew Rowan, who have also spearheaded a lot of our youth programming. They're doing basketball now at the high school, as well as soccer in the summer and dance program, which they've taken care of a lot in that regard. So, maybe working with them to kind of grow what they're doing or support what they're doing, because they're providing a lot for the community, for all the kids.
Yeah. So
And
what can
that's
we do to support
Purely
that?
volunteer.
Yeah.
So what can we do for them to support their development in all the recreational activities that they're providing?
And making sure they have the proper facilities for whatever programming that they're operating. Right? I
Correct,
think it would
yeah.
be a good start.
Yeah, right now basketball is starting at the high school gym there, so
Oh,
perfect location. It supports that building, right?
outdoor or indoor?
Indoor,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's a good point. Thanks. The fourth point is encourage the active participation of the tourism sector in the Chamber of Commerce to provide a strong voice for tourism in the betterment of all French River businesses. So this is where we were going to approach the Chamber of Commerce, and whether it be a subcommittee that kind of focuses on tourism so that we can get those tourism operators who are interested in coming together in a committee setting for the community, that they would have the opportunity through the chamber, I think is what would be the most appropriate way. So we're gonna see if we can do that. If we can do any of these things a little bit sooner, if the opportunity arises, then nothing stops us from doing that either, right? So but it's just to rediscuss where we're at that time. And the last one is discuss the tourism sector and benefits of hiring a French River tourism coordinator to support local businesses, organize events and festivals, and market the tourist attractions in the community. It would be really, really nice, but if you don't ask, you never get it, right? So it is there, it's listed, we will see. Yeah. Okay, so the last page is our long-term action items. So from 2030 to 2034. So the first bullet is create and adopt a vibrant spaces plan to renew community assets and preserve or enhance the unique character and quality of life in our community for future generations. So this plan could include decorative lighting, banners, murals, street furniture, public art, trees, and public Wi-Fi. So helping to further make those walkable communities and hubs. So that's kind of the goal in the future, and hopefully we can kind of beautify certain areas of the area. Certain areas of the area. It was missing a word. The second bullet is transform vacant and underutilized buildings into youth recreation centers. So as we were talking about earlier, this would be one of those items among many within this plan that would require a financial component through grants, through partnerships, through whatever means possible to fund these things. So as we create the recommendation to council, if there are things that would require a financial consideration, it would be beneficial to highlight that there would be a financial contribution. How much it would be at that time would be really difficult to kind of put a number in stone. So we would just say that this component in the plan would require a financial component, but to be discussed later. As long as it's not going on their budget now, I think they're going to be okay with it. The third bullet is to further develop and enrich English language education in French River, further reiterating, is that the right word?
Just,
Reiterating.
yeah, reiterate.
That's it. Yeah, sorry, a little bit of mom brain.
Don't worry, it took me a while to catch up too, so.
It's okay. I'm going too fast. Tells me to slow down. Further reiterating that we want to be all inclusive in our community for all the students that are here. We don't want to be busing anyone out of our community if we don't have to. So if we can do something to help that, then why not?
Yeah.
The fourth bullet is shift away from paper and enhance the community's digital capabilities to better enable community growth by streamlining the development planning approvals process with modern software systems. So I think everyone saw modern systems flourish during COVID, and a lot of these systems are now presenting themselves to municipalities in a way that not everything's going to be done on paper anymore. So for building permits, licensing, different applications, e-service requests, complaints, everything is kind of trending and going into like an online platform, even through taxation or anything like that. So anything that where people don't have to physically come in and sign off, and they can kind of expedite and speed up the process would kind of speed up the whole development process in general, or anything that you're doing with the municipality, right? So it's just increasing that access and removing some barriers, especially for people who can't always get here, or if it's their secondary residence. You know, there's a whole bunch of certain situations where it would just make more sense to be more accessible online, but still having the office available for those who like to come in person, because we are majority senior population. So having the best of both worlds is that one essentially. But with that comes a high price tag as well, because a lot of these programs are between $50,000 and $100,000, and then there's annual costs on top of that. So it's nice to have. Once you have it, the initial setup and the implementation of these programs is heavy, but in the long run, I think it's beneficial. So that may happen a lot sooner than 2030 to 34, but I think to be fully funded and fully operational to that capacity, it might take us until then.
Is there an opportunity for that one? There's probably an opportunity to connect with other communities, right? Because like you guys, like we can't possibly be in the community that wants to move in that direction. So
Yeah.
there's like some economies of scale.
Yeah, exactly. So, and a lot of smaller communities can't fund these things by themselves. So there's definitely a shared service opportunity there for sure, especially with our building and bylaw department. That's going to service the 4 communities regardless, right? So if they move to an online platform, then they're going to have to come up with some sort of solution for them. Absolutely. And the last one is increase awareness with BRNE programs among local business organizations, Chamber of Commerce. We cannot conduct a BRNE without the Chamber of Commerce. They kind of help us lead the charge on that, but it's a community effort to create a BRNE, and it's a lot of surveys and it's a lot of input and engagement in the community. So but we do see the benefit in conducting one. The last time we had looked at one was, I believe, in 2015-16, but it was about halfway done and never fully completed. So starting off in 2030, our plan is to rediscuss completing a business retention expansion plan with the Chamber of Commerce. Any questions?
Well, I think that's quite comprehensive, to be honest, well laid out and thought out.
Great. So would everyone be okay with me making a recommendation report to council? I'm hoping it will come at the second meeting in November, or first meeting in December, unless they push me off until the new year. But I'm hoping to get it out at least before January, and then see if we can get council buy-in to move forward on a couple of items. So once I'm done with the recommendation, I'll circulate it again to all the members. And if you have any questions, concerns, then we can call another meeting to make any changes if there's anything significant before it goes to council.
Everybody in agreement?
Okay.
Agreed. Great job.
I agree.
Okay. And that's everything that was on the agenda. So
Okay.
unless you guys have anything in the round table, I'll push it back to you, Lily.
Anyone have anything to add, anything to bring up, anything new? Okay, seeing none, then I'll move to adjourn. I'll need a mover and a seconder. Caitlin?
Seconder.
Thank you. And again, thank you everyone for coming out. And we'll see you next time.